Major.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. So today I am diverting from my usual content and I am going to talk about something that I am not yet over, and that is the season finale of Game of Thrones. I know it's been over a week since the season finale, but just yesterday the HBO documentary came out, so I have all of these feelings coming to surface again, and I have all of these opinions that I need to share. And whether you're interested or not, well, I'm sharing my opinions. The reason, by the way, that I look so extra today is that I just filmed a makeup tutorial video. So if you're interested in makeup, please watch my other videos as well. Anyway, so let's talk Game of Thrones. I have been watching Game of Thrones since 2011, when nobody else was talking about it. It certainly wasn't the phenomenon that it is now. It wasn't as hyped as it is now. And let me tell you, I discovered it through my DVD Suki. It just looked interesting, but I hadn't heard anything about it. And let me tell you, the first 10 minutes of that first episode on season 1 sealed the deal for me. I was in love. It was love at first sight. So I've been watching every single episode of every single season ever since. And when they take long breaks, 1 year, 2 years, I've been patiently waiting. And it has been my favorite TV show really of all time. I absolutely love Game of Thrones. I have read all the books and I follow the story really closely. So let's talk a little bit about that last season. So episodes 1 to 5 of season 8, I had absolutely no issues with. I was reading articles that some people were upset about the character development of Daenerys, like they weren't happy what happened. They weren't happy about what happened, especially in episode 5. They weren't happy, like they weren't happy maybe to see their favorite character turn into the Mad Queen, or they weren't happy with how fast everything turned out. But for me, honestly, episodes 1 to 5 were totally fine. I had no issue with Daenerys's character development and what she eventually developed into. And I think it's just because, like, you know, in true fashion of the show, it was unpredictable and it was a big plot twist. And I had no issue with that because that is what we signed up for. That is the shock factor, the unpredictability. That is true Game of Thrones fashion. So maybe I found episode 1 of season 8 a little bit slow, and you know, I had waited 2 years and it was kind of slow, but I understand that they had to build it up. They had to build up the story. So episode 1 was like just building it up. All right, fine. Anyway, like the big Battle of Winterfell, that episode really made up for that. Now let's talk about the final episode. So as I said, the first 20 minutes fine. When Jon stabbed Daenerys to death, I screamed. It was exciting. It was not predicted. Well, maybe there were a few predictions. Like one of my friends said that it would be so much more dramatic because all of us thought that like Arya was going to be the one to kill Daenerys, but then one of my friends in our group chat said, but it would be so much more dramatic if Jon killed her. And what do you know, Jon killed her. So everything up till that point was exciting. You know, you could really feel like the tension, the build up. But then everything after that was so anticlimactic. And after I watched the whole episode, I just felt so underwhelmed. I just felt like really down. I felt like really upset and disappointed. Now, I don't question how things ended. Who am I to question that, right? I mean, I don't want to be a know-it-all. And after I read a particular article, which I am going to leave in the section down below, I'm going to leave a link to that article. It did explain a lot of things to me, and I did understand why things ended the way that they ended and how the ending was just right. At first, I had a really big issue with like Jon being cast away and basically becoming a nobody, or becoming like a has-been. I felt that why did all of these things happen to him then, right? Why did he come back from the dead? Why was he saving Westeros time and again? Like, and you know, I mean, everything was building up and building up for Jon, and I just thought that he deserved, if not the throne. After I watched the episode, I thought that he deserved a better ending, if not like a more glorious ending. That didn't necessarily have to be the throne. If that was too predictable for him to take the throne, then like I thought that he deserved like maybe a glorious death, or I don't know, just not like nothing, not like allowing him to become like a has-been or just like casting him away. And I was wondering, for what then is he a Targaryen? But after I read the article, which I'm leaving the link to down below, then I understood, okay, that even Jon's ending was just right. And really I have no questions about how anything ended, like Bran becoming king, that's fine. My only issue is like how everything was executed after the scene of Daenerys' death. Like everything was just so fast. From when she died, it was a flash forward scene that came next. And I felt like we were being robbed of like not letting us in on what happened when, like, let's say Grey Worm and the Unsullied found out that their queen had died. We didn't see their reaction. I mean, was there a battle between Grey Worm and Jon? Because surely like Grey Worm would have wanted to kill Jon, right? I mean, after being so loyal to Daenerys, and after the Unsullied and even the remaining Dothraki being so loyal to Daenerys and killing all of her enemies, they didn't want to kill Jon, who stabbed their queen to death. I felt like we were being robbed, that we didn't see what happened from her death to the next scene. And then everything just happened so fast after that. And it's just like the execution. I felt that there could have been more. And it's a shame because HBO wanted 10 episodes, right? Even George R.R. Martin wanted more episodes. Why couldn't they have given us more episodes? Like, to just explain and to elaborate on why things ended the way they did. And another question that I have is that, like, one season was dedicated, so many episodes of one season was dedicated to Arya being trained to become a face-changing assassin. Aside from her killing the Freys back in the previous season, then what was the point of her being a face-changing assassin? I felt that there were a few loopholes like this that could have been addressed if we had had more episodes. That being said, you know, who am I? I am not even a TV analyst or a critic. So yeah, like, who am I to analyze and to critique? I'm not even like a professional critic, but this is me, a fan, a very loyal and avid fan of Game of Thrones, just sharing what I felt about that last episode. So as I said, it left me underwhelmed and unsatisfied and a little bit disappointed. I have all the respect for the writers. They have brought us amazing content. I mean, even beyond the books, they were able to deliver like really great content, really exciting episodes. And I do think that until season 8 episode 6 first 20 minutes, this is the best show in history. It is just the last part of that last episode that I have an issue with. And I think that yes, we should respect the creators. Of course, a lot of work was put into this, not just the production, but also the story. I know that a lot of the story, especially as they have no more books to follow. It's just that for me, okay, of course, we respect the writers, the creators, but they should also respect us fans, because we are the ones that put Game of Thrones on top, right? Yeah. So that's it. I just feel that it's a shame that everyone is like hailing it as the best episode, as the best TV show of all time, and everyone loved it. And then the last episode had to be so controversial and so disappointing for a lot of people. And it goes down in history that way, like the greatest TV show on earth with a very disappointing ending. So in summary, I just think that the execution could have been done better. They could have allotted more time. It's not like they didn't have the money or the resource, they did. I just think that they should have executed it with more detail, give us fans more so that we don't feel like we were robbed, or that we don't feel that we understood the outcome of how it ended. And that's it. I just wanted to share that with you all. So for every vlog that I do, I have a fun Filipino word of the day, just explaining to you guys if this is the first time that you are watching. And my fun Filipino word of the day is bitin. Bitin means short or lacking something. So you know how like when I do my eyebrows in my makeup tutorials, I always say my eyebrow is bitin, and that's why I draw the tail, because my eyebrow is short. Well, that is how I felt about that last episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones. Bitin. So usually every video I do a special shout out to one of my subscribers or to one of my 8,000 followers on Instagram, but today I am changing it up a little bit and I am giving a shout out to my 2 friends who have been watching Game of Thrones with me. Not together, but like we have a group chat and we talk about each episode, we dissect it together, we analyze the episode together. We also were super excited before, we were also excited before each episode came out, and I just want to give a shout out to them. Our whole Game of Thrones journey has sadly come to an end, but of course our friendship remains. So hi to my GOT buddies, Tess and Aline. A lot of my comments also come from the conversations that I've had with them. They are huge fans as well. And they were the ones actually to suggest that I make a video, since I had so much to say. And that is all. Thanks for watching and listening to me rant. Please like this video if you liked it, and do hit the subscribe button. If you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Bye.